Hello, this is Chelsa. My register number is 14CS208 and this is my DBMS exercise number 5. In the first question, I am supposed to display the details of the customer who are ordered for either cherry or oak. For this, I am displaying, selecting the details of the customer name from the customer table, and then I am using the inner join on the order table and checking if my customer ID in the customer table and customer ID in the order table are equal. Then I am using the inner join on the order quantity table and then the product table. I am checking, and then I am selecting the product ID from the product table where the product material equal to this red dot. In the next question, I am supposed to display the names of the customer who are ordered for the product this. For this, I am selecting the distinct name from the customer table, and then I am using the inner join on the order table and then I am using the inner join on the product table, and then after that I am selecting the product ID from the product table where the product description equal to table name. In the next question, I am supposed to display the details of customer who are ordered for product ID equal to 1000. For this, I am selecting all the details of the customer, and then I am using the inner join on order table and the order quantity table and checking if the customer ID in the customer table which equals the customer ID in the order table. Then I am selecting the order ID from the order quantity table whose product ID equal to 1000. And after that, in the next one, I have to display the details of the supplier whose supply quantity is greater than the some supplier called S3. For this, I am selecting the supplier name from the supplier table, and then I am using the inner join on the product table and checking if the product ID and product ID is equal in the product table and the supplier table, and checking if order quantity is greater than or equal to the product ID from the product table, and then I am selecting the product ID from the supplier table whose supplier ID equal to 3. In the next one, I have to find the supplier with the highest rating. For this, I am selecting the supplier ID from the supplier table and checking where I am checking the product ID from any of the and then I am selecting the product ID from order quantity table where the order quantity equal to and then I am selecting the maximum order quantity from the order quantity table, and after that I have to display the supplier details whose supply quantity is greater than the ordered quantity of ID equal to 3. For this, I am selecting the supplier ID and name and in the supplier table, and then I am using inner join on the product table, and then I am checking if the quantity is greater than all the quantities from all the quantities, and then I am selecting the quantity and then using the inner join on that. And the next one, I have to display the order quantity of the order whose order date is greater than the ordered quantity date of ID this. For this, I am selecting the order quantity from the order table and then using the inner join on order table, and then checking if the order quantity date is greater than or equal to the order date from the order table whose customer ID equal to the I106. The next one, I have to display the names of the customer whose order date is equal to the order date of customer ID first. So I have to display date which is equal to the customer ID number for first date. So I am selecting the distinct customer name from the customer, and then I am using the inner join on the order table and checking if my customer ID equal to customer ID, where I am checking where my order date equals to any of the order date from the order table whose customer ID equal to 4. In the next question, I have to display the details whose details greater than the supplier this. So I am selecting the supplier name from the supplier table whose product ID greater than any of the product from the product table whose quantity is greater than any of the quantity, and then I am checking if the supplier from product ID from the supplier table and product table is equal and supplier name equal to CCC, then I am displaying the customer details of that one. In the next one, I have to create a view to display the customer name and order and quantity. For creating a view, my syntax is create or replace view and its name, and then what do I have to display? That is the customer name, order from the order quantity table, from the table, and then I am checking if my customer ID equal to order table. The view is created. In the next one, I have to display or create a view to display the order ID, order date, and the date of delivery. For this, I have to using create to display the view as V2, and then I am selecting the order date, order quantity, or from the order ID, and then I am checking from the supplier where my order ID from the order equal to the order ID from the order quantity. Then I am displaying the details. The next one, I have to insert a row in the view. Insertion is not possible, that is data manipulation is not possible in a view. And in the next one, I have to create a view V3 with the customer name, order ID, and order date from V1 and V2. For this, I have to get details from the V1 and V2. For this, I am creating a view, that is create and replace a view with the name V3, and I am selecting the customer name V2, and I have to select the order date referring from V1 and V2. So I am selecting V2.order ID, then order date from V1, V2, and then I am checking if my order from the order ID from the V1 is equal to order ID from the V2. Then I am displaying the view, and after that I have to delete a row from the above view, so deletion is not possible in view. Thank you.